What's good, Motive Gang? It's your dark-skinned girl with a motive, Poko Rams, and welcome to the Melanin Motive, where we have candid conversations about navigating life as we know it in our 20s and in our 30s. This is a map, a manual, a GPS coordinate to navigate through this maze we are calling life. We are all trying to figure it out. Why not figure it out together? What's up? What's good? What's poppin', everybody? I hope that you have been doing well. Welcome to another episode. You know how we do when we up in here. We're showing love. We're giving love. We are extending love continuously. I'm super blessed to be entering into a new week, and this is a new episode. Your girl is making progress. Pats herself on the back. Period. I'm super excited to be here today, blessed, because we have a topic that actually is something that is very personal to me because I am currently going through it right now. Unemployment. What a ghetto concept. Somebody should have told us that this was not going to be cute. But with, the world going as it is and lifing as it does, these are parts of the ebbs and flows that I speak about and how tough it is to navigate this life thing. And I wouldn't want this conversation to, not be something that we tap into because this is real life things that are happening in our 20s, especially if you're experiencing it for the first time. I want to make sure that you know that you're not alone. And I'm here with you right now. So every time I go out, I kind of have a problem because people are always trying to figure out what I do. Who am I? Who is this Poko? Wow, we've never heard of a Poko before. Love it. Because I'm literally one of the only Pokos in the world and I eat that up. But then the one question that someone comes and asks me after that is, what do you do? And then I kind of pause because I'm like, all that guilt, that shame, that heaviness just comes back in. And I'm like, you're reminding me of what's going wrong in my life. You're asking too many questions. You're being nosy. Why are you trying to be in my business? But really, people are just trying to find out who is this girl and what does she do? And I don't even know how to respond to it because of the heaviness and the shame that comes with it. And shame, why? I don't even know why, but I feel like society sometimes puts us in these positions to take something like not having a job as something that is shameful. And I think that is crazy because I don't know why this entire time I've been sitting with the shame of, girl, you do not have a job. And that is your reality right now. And what about just saying it out loud? And a lot of the times when people ask me this, I'm always like, I'm just a girl. I'm just a girl, or, I'm just trying my best here on earth, doing my best, bringing my best, being my best. Now I'm like, okay, what do I say that I do? Do I just say I'm unemployed? Because it's like, oh, you're unemployed. And then sometimes even my imposter syndrome maybe kicks in and I'm even scared to say that, yeah, but I also do content creation and I am the team that makes the Melanin Motive come together. And I'm not standing on my business. I'm not standing in my essence, which is very disappointing. But I'm going to be real with you, right? Because we're real with each other here. So yeah, I really just opt for, I'm just a girl. And it works most of the time. Somebody ate it up the last time. And they're like, ooh, that's a brand. And I said, period, clock it. I have been unemployed twice in the last 2 years. Got a job, lost a job, got a job, lost a job. It's been hard because you just get into the slump and you also just feel like you're not enough. And I think it's a tiring thing for me, I have to be honest, because, I went through it the first time and I didn't think that I'd be going through it for longer than maybe even 2 months because there is so much delusion in, believing that, that job could be yours. Unemployment feels very shameful. You think sometimes society equates your worth with being productive and, having a successful career and all those, yeah, very real. I think we are very influenced to think that, oh my gosh, this person's going to the gym. When you watch on social media, someone's going to the gym, doing this, doing that, doing that. And you feel like, oh my gosh, I can't even do that for like 15 minutes. I can't even stand for 15 minutes. I'm trying to have a seat because I'm old now, 28, like the back. But like, you kind of, equate, your worth to all of these things. And when you don't have it, it kind of steals a sense of your identity. And it also makes you feel very, ashamed and very, embarrassed and very, excluded from what other people are doing, especially because in different spaces now, ever since COVID, our working experiences are very different. Some people work from home, some people don't, some people are hybrid. And I think for me, who has been in jobs where I was working from home, it kind of sometimes became very isolating and very also eye opening to see the differences between, when people are going out to go to work and when you're at home. For instance, for me, I'm at home and I'm working from home, and my space where I work and my home is all in the same place. With other people, they go to work and they come back to their peace of mind. They'll have their fights or their frustrations at work, and then they get to come back home and be like, okay, I'm zenning out. I'm not speaking to Superior right now. I'm chilling. But for people like me who have worked from home, we are kind of isolated because those spaces are all in one. So the frustrations of work are in your home, and the home frustrations are also there. So everything is in one place. And I think that is something that just puts such a heavy weight on you, such a heavy weight in, your mentals and how you are navigating. And I think it's definitely had a big impact on me. Definitely has shown me that I need to be outside, and that's why I go outside so that I can catch some air, breathe, see some people, be seen. Because apparently my husband is not going to look over the wall to come and find me. So you know what? I don't know what the world wants from me here, because you're kind of giving and taking, taking and taking, and I'm just like, where is the giving? Yeah, I think sometimes it puts, an emotional toll on you. There's a lot of isolation, depression, anxiety. And I think that these are things that I had very much accumulated, especially when I went through my first season of not having a job. Sometimes in these seasons of unemployment, you might see that maybe you're in a season of pivoting. Maybe you need to pivot into a new career, pivot into new goals, find a new passion project, go back to school, upskill yourself. The thing about, the whole thing of like job hunting is so stressful. People don't understand that the hard labor that comes in it is the, rewriting and redoing your cover letters, your CV, making sure that all of that is up to date, having to write a different cover letter for each and every other company. The delusion of, maybe I'll get this job, the delusion of applying for a job and thinking that, what, this might be mine, because you have to tell yourself. And, someone asks you, how did the interview go? And you're like, yeah, I think it went well. We'll see, we'll see. And someone's like, you got it, girl, you got it. And then I don't get it. And then now what? Did I get the job? So I kind of feel like we're all being delusional here, and it's tiring, guys. I'm not gonna lie. When I lost my job again, I was dreading the thought of just going back on being on all of these websites and trying to apply for jobs because of the many, 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 many rejection letters I already have in my inbox. And it does take a toll on a girl, especially if she's not accustomed to be rejected. I'm like, the amount of times I've been rejected. Woo! Yeah. When you apply for a job, you start to visualize the role, how much it's going to pay. You're planning your commutes to this place. And then all of a sudden that dream is taken away from you because, you're being rejected. And I think it is a crushing reality to be in. I think what I started to see as very functional for me, especially in this season, is how am I coping? What am I doing to change the cycle? And I think that for me, I'm like, okay, cool. I think just managing how many times I'm applying for jobs so that it doesn't feel like overload. What is also very important in this season is to celebrate your small wins. It's very hard to be delusional in a season and in a space where you are waiting for people to approve of you. I think it's also very important to find support, find support in your friends and your family, have people that will affirm you. Thank you to all of those people that said, Poko, that job is yours. Even when it wasn't, you tried to make me feel better. And in that moment, I really did feel better. I am very grateful for the support that I have. I think also what helps is, you doing your networking, looking at, your webinars and trying to, see how you can upskill yourself in these spaces. I think what is really important also in the season is to reframe the way that we see unemployment. Don't look at it as something that is, permanent. I know it's been going on for long, and I empathize and I sympathize with you in this moment. But let me tell you something. It is a season, and seasons change. Summer, spring, winter, autumn. Doesn't always stay that way. Sometimes it is a way of showing you how you can improve in this next part of your life. Do I need to pivot and go into a new career? Do I need to pivot and maybe look into my passion projects? For instance, if you want to start a blog, start a YouTube channel, start a podcast, hey, maybe that will make you feel a lot more productive. Maybe that will make you feel a lot more valuable because you're adding some of your expertise or, to something that you feel passionate about. You can upskill yourself, go online, do courses, really be prepared for when that job comes. So yeah, I think productive ways to use your time. That's why I started, investing back in myself. I saw a TikTok about somebody who said this girl didn't have a job and she just started running. And when she was running and she was improving her body, focusing on herself, waking up early, her body was getting into a body yaddy. And one lady was like, girl, your body is yaddy. And then she was like, what do you do? And she was like, I'm actually unemployed. I'm a CA. I'm looking for a job. And she was like, oh my gosh, my brother has a company and he's looking for someone to do his accounts. Boom. This girl had a job. The point of what I'm trying to get across to you is sometimes when you focus on yourself, things just work out the way they're meant to. I think it also just brings more of the attention to you, more of the attention to you and your God. And how do you move in this season? Should I be staying in this industry or should I change the industry? Do I need to go back to school? Do I need to go and study again? Do I need to upskill? Do I need to, apply myself and maybe go and be a volunteer somewhere so I can get some experience? I think a lot of people sometimes are, very ashamed of being humbled by, going to go work lower jobs than you had before. And I get that. I think that there is a lot of, humbling that is there because, of course, you don't want to go do a job that you've done before. But you know what? We got to hustle. We got to make this money. We're not trying to just sit there and not do anything. So we're going to do whatever it takes to get some money in. For instance, like for me, I can even do makeup. Am I doing it right now? No. But, it's things like that that I can use as a skill to make money on the side. And I think with whatever skill that you have in your either career path or even in your personal capacity, use that to make money. A lot of entrepreneurs are really going on is that, okay, what am I doing for myself? What about myself can I box up and sell to the world? And that works. So look at what you can do in your skills and how you can apply those skills and make money from that. And boom, baby, you'll be making some sort of money. And who knows, maybe you might grow and maybe stay in that field because it's something that you've done and built on your own. And God is always there to balance you, my sister. Always, always there to balance you, my brother. I think because our whole world is to go to a 9 to 5 and make money and put bread on the table, we sometimes forget to live life. I'll be honest with you, for me, it kind of felt like my light bulb went off this year because of the many things besides work, the many things that have been happening in my life that have traumatized me. And in that season or in this interim, I forgot how to actually just live life. Like, you do know that there are unemployed people at least walking on the street getting some air. You do know that it's okay to at least get yourself a coffee, just to, pat yourself on the back. Like a 5 rand ele. I mean, obviously we don't have money to afford it, but you get what I'm trying to say, my sister. Come on. What can I do in my home and in my time and in my space to feel productive and to feel like I'm investing something in myself? And that's why I said upskill yourself, learn new things, learn how you can be prepared for the position before you get to the position that you're going to get. Now, that's me being delusional. You're going to get that job. Another point to highlight is, the importance of gratitude. In a season like this, you see a whole lot of lack because you don't have. You know what, God, at least I'm not on the streets. At least I have a couch to sit on. At least I have shelter. At least I have warmth. I have a bed. Really just coming from a place of I'm grateful for what I do have, because I think the more that we lean into lack is the more emptier we feel. But if you really, really leaned into gratefulness and the things that you have around you, it will show you to, celebrate even those small victories that you didn't think were going to happen in your life or you didn't think were big. Small victories are still a victory. I think another thing to do is to really try journaling or, going to therapy, which is something I've been an advocate for. There is free counseling. The counseling hub really gives you about 8 weeks or 6 weeks of sessions where you can debrief what you're going through. And it also can be very helpful to speak to someone that can maybe let you see a different perspective and how you move in your life every single week. And I think it's important to do that. Go and debrief. A verse I want to leave with you guys is Jeremiah 29, verse 11. And it says, for I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope in the future. And I really hope that you see that he's not going to leave nor forsake you. He's never done that. But maybe it's necessary to just connect with your God because you don't know if he's trying to tell you to pivot, find a new job, find a new industry, find a new path. Maybe pursue a passion that he's been telling you to do and you've been disobedient and not doing it, you know? And I know that I'm plucking someone right now because I'm plucking myself as well. I think really look at it as a place of what am I supposed to be learning in this season? It's the same way I spoke about it when I spoke in ebbs and flows. I had to stop myself and say, okay, God, I'm seeing patterns of the things that I'm doing, and these things will continue to hurt me and hurt me even more the more I keep disobeying. What am I supposed to be learning in this season? And try to see how do I navigate differently in this season. At the end of the day, guys, as much as this is a tough pill to swallow, I know I wouldn't want someone to tell me this when I was in my season, but I also have to be that big sister and that extension to you is to really fight for your life. Nobody else is going to do it for you. Unfortunately, people do not care. The world will still go around even if you're crying in your bedroom. And that's the reality of it. But the thing is about life is that you have to come to it. It's not going to come to you. And so I really hope that in this new season that you come back to your sense of self. Focus on yourself if you have to. Get your body right. Get your mind right. Am I journaling? What am I doing with my time? How can I use this time to be productive? How can I use this time to make money? How can I use this time to, show my expertise, in my spaces, in the people that I'm with, in the places that I go to. And so I really hope that you guys enjoyed this episode. I want to encourage the people that are unemployed at the moment that breathe. It gets better. It always does. The season does change. It doesn't always feel like this. I've seen people go through it for years. And then, it just turns around and it becomes just something else because God is always working something in the background. And sometimes you'll knock and knock and knock and knock and nobody's answering. But there's a right door, and the doors that God opens, no one can shut. No one at all. And so, yeah, I really hope that you find some sort of, comfort in the plans that He has for you and that you are not alone. And if you feel like you are alone, let me know. Let's chat about it. Let's debrief about, the ebbs and flows and how tough it is. But you don't have to be a tough cookie around here. This is a safe space. Thank you so much for joining me on the Melanin Motive. I really hope that you enjoyed this episode. Leave your comments, your likes, and let me know what you guys think about this episode and unemployment in general in South Africa. Thank you so much for joining me today. It's your dark skin girl with the motive, Poko. Goodbye.
Me and my people be rolling, keep it on you and your home.